ChatGPT is one of the most versatile tools that you'll ever use, and a lot of people use it incorrectly. But I want to share with you a few just really daily uses I have for ChatGPT. And the first one is something that you might not normally think about, which is transcription. And so, probably like if I were to describe the way that I like to use ChatGPT, it's to give it a mountain of data and then whittle it down until it gives me what I want. And so, for example, many times I will feed it an entire book. I will feed it a YouTube transcript and I'll just whittle it down into like a tweet or even better, a YouTube comment. And so if I'm on Facebook and sometimes I'm scrolling and I see like a motivational graphic that's not original by someone, but they post a really commonly said quote. And I'm just like, how do I get that text out of there? And so, of course, when I'm looking, I can't find it. But if I go and I search or I look for a motivational quote, here we go. So sometimes we don't find what we're looking for until we let go of looking at let it find us. So I single click it, I right click and I copy image, and then I go over to ChatGPT and I make a new chat and I just paste it in. I don't save it, I don't upload it, I just paste it and I say transcribe this. And many times a day, I'll be in a similar situation such as this where I just need the text and then I might want to develop it into something better. So maybe I'll take this and I'll say, expand on this statement and expand this statement into a powerful, motivational 5-sentence message, complete with an attention-getting hook, powerful question, multi-step process, and final call to action. Here's another trick I like to use many times. I'll say, give me 10 possible choices in any sort of output. And because I know that like 3 will just be terrible, unusable, maybe 1 or 2 will be good. And if I take those top 2, then maybe I can combine it into a really powerful idea, right? ChatGPT is not your new brain. It is your assistant. And here it is generating some text for us. And here's a lot of text, and this just requires you to have that very present day necessary skill of separating out the signal from the noise, right? It generates all this, and you might look at this and say, well, I would rather start my tweet with this. True discovery often happens when you stop searching and start allowing. Release the grip of constant pursuit. Embrace the art of patience. Let go or let life's opportunities come to you and act swiftly when they do. Make the bold move to let go and watch as the world unfolds before you. So do you see how just by taking the bare essence, the conciseness, you end up with something? Now, sometimes I'll be in a situation here where I will be on iTunes or I'll do, let's say I'm doing podcast prospecting for someone, right? And I'll be searching, maybe I'll search for someone for self-help podcasts. And I'll say, well, I want to build a spreadsheet of self-help podcasts. And I can't copy this, right? This is an app. So I can't get this. So I use a tool called Snagit. I believe it's $50 a year. And you can just click on a capture button, draw a rectangle, and then it will automatically copy it to your clipboard for you. Again, we're not adding clutter by saving files. So I click on this capture button, and then I can just highlight all of this, and then it's copied to clipboard, just that rectangle that I drew. And then I go to ChatGPT, and I put this in here, and I say, transcribe this. And it will look at all, even though there's text all here and there, it will turn this into plain text. And here we go. But we say, well, how can I really use this? I can say, arrange this into a table with the following columns. And we'll say, we'll do podcast host name and then name of podcast. And then it will just take that raw text and reconfigure it in the way that we asked it to. And then this is something that you could then copy into a Google spreadsheet and edit to your heart's content, do additional research on it, like go and find each person's LinkedIn, go and find each person's podcast link. Amazing, right? Here's something else I do is secretly, this is a secret, I use ChatGPT to generate YouTube and LinkedIn comments. So let's say I go to this person's YouTube channel. Okay, here's the video I was looking for. So let's say you come across like a really well done YouTube video and you tell yourself, well, I don't want to copy this, and I don't even maybe want to copy the content. I just want to understand how the structure is and why it's a good structure for me to apply to my own video. So in this particular case, there's this YouTube video and he has a channel trailer, an introduction, and it's super slick. He's talking on camera and it cuts to the B-roll, but you say, okay, well, what's he saying and how can I turn it into something that's usable for me? So we take the YouTube link right here and we go to YouTubeTranscript.com. This is a free site. And then we enter this YouTube link. And then you see it just creates a whole transcript from the video. And we click on copy entire transcript. Then we go to ChatGPT. And so I'll start a new chat here. And we paste in this whole transcript. And then we might say, break this. How about this? Is separate each sentence into an item in a numbered list. So let's at first see what he is saying. And you can see that there's, I believe, 10 short sentences. And even just looking at this, we can get an idea of what his structure is. It says his name, says his credentials, says if you're interested in this, mentions his platforms. If you have these problems, subscribe, looking forward. And so 8 sentences. And we can say break down each sentence into a template with placeholders, into a reusable template with placeholders. All right, yeah, let's just see what it gives us. And so you can see here how now it's broken it down into name, profession, areas of interest. Here's my take, target audience. And then we could take this and then we can say, now let's rebuild the template into a usable script with actual details. Ask me a series of questions to place the personalized information back into the placeholders. And now it can ask me these questions. So I say podcaster, content creation, and tools such as Descript, Zoom, Canva, ChatGPT. What cultural or philosophical approaches do you combine? That's learning and taking action. And we'll say LinkedIn and TikTok. Who's my target audience? Business owners and entrepreneurs. And specific topics, nutritional supplements. Now we'll say book writing and podcast creation. And what's also great about ChatGPT is that many times it creates a first draft for you, right? It creates an attempt. And then you might even take what it generates and merge it with something that you've already made previously. Merge it with your LinkedIn bio, merge it with the about page on your website, or just take it and clean it up on your own. But now we have generated a whole spoken script just by taking something that seems useful, grab the YouTube transcript, and then tell ChatGPT to put placeholders in place. And so far we have covered these ideas of image to text. We've covered breaking down a template and then rebuilding it. And I want to give you one last, this is a daily usage that I do for ChatGPT that I've never seen anyone talk about, which is mail merge. Okay. And so many times you're in a situation when you want to send this message and send this message, right? You want to send a series of LinkedIn messages or send a series of emails or Facebook messages, and you have 20 or 30 or even more to send. But if you were to go and plug in names back and forth, then it would just take you all day long. But luckily, ChatGPT allows you to mail merge. That way you can just pluck and copy and paste and get it done. And so here's what we're going to do is we can take this list here, right? And podcast host name and name of podcast. And we just say, perform this mail merge. And I like to do a shift enter if I want to have multiple lines in a single prompt. And I can say the mail merge I'm going to put in here is, we'll do podcast host name. That way I know who I'm speaking to. And I'll say, do you currently accept guests for the, and the name of podcast. I have a guest named Mike Peterson, who I believe would be a great contributor to your show. His one sheet is at this link. And so what we're going to do, and you can either paste a bunch of rows and columns from a spreadsheet and it'll figure all that out. Or in this case, I will say use the above table to plug in the data into this mail merge. And just by doing that, it should take the table from up above and then take this template, and it will just give us message after message that we can then use. And you see how this is the message to Janet Connor asking about guests for the last self-help podcast. Then there's the message for Kim Little asking about the hypnotherapy podcast. So you can see that this is such a time saver. And so many people talk about using ChatGPT to write articles or come up with ideas or strategize or edit. And that's all great. But this is what I do for the more data entry and clerical tasks. And my kind of little hidden secret, that little ace in the hole especially, is for that YouTube transcript trick. And I'll do one last little cheat, secret, is when you go to a YouTube video. So let's say I like this person's YouTube video and I want to leave a thoughtful comment. I'll just take this and I'll go to this YouTubeTranscript.com site, and it takes the whole transcript, and then I'll copy this and then I'll put it into ChatGPT and give it 2 enter signs. And then below that, I have a prompt that I made that I'm always changing, where I'm saying, speak in casual, everyday, non-business language, speak in a 9th grade English level. Now, this is important to avoid many of the common academic buzzwords that ChatGPT throws in. And then I'll say, create a possible comment under this content in 3 sections. Give me 5 lessons you learned, so that way I can just kind of see what the video is about. And then 5 comments I might leave under the post, which is up to ChatGPT just to decide what to say. And then I have another section where I'm writing like a structured list and saying, in sentence 1, say this, in sentence 2, say that. So it's giving us lots of options. And just to wrap up this video, I would say that that's my mindset with ChatGPT, as I say, generate 10 possibilities for me, knowing that I will only be using one. And so that way you can sift through all because ChatGPT does make a lot of things up, and this way you can sift through what it gives you. And here's the output. And so we can see this first section, it gives us lessons we learned. So we can see, all right, be genuinely interested, remember names. So we can already kind of subconsciously know what we want to say in a comment that does not sound AI generated. And even just this first one off the top, this could be usable, right? I never realized how impactful something as simple as remembering names could be. So you could just use that as is And if you want to do something that's a little more thoughtful, then you could combine some of the best ideas. Like your explanation of Dale Carnegie's principles was eye-opening, and going to work on that smile more often. So we can kind of mix and match and choose. Do we want to just take a comment as is? Do we want to pluck through the best ideas? Do we want to load up a bunch of ideas? Or do we want to make sure that we say end with great video or practical advice, or I'm going to go do this thing? You can just choose on what looks good to you to apply. So I think I'll just keep it simple, and I'll grab this comment and I'll place it under these 4 social skills. And here we go. Easy to implement advice. So there you have it. Those are some everyday uses of ChatGPT. What do you like about ChatGPT? What are you using it for? Is there something that is not commonly talked about? Well, let me know in the comments below. Robert Plank, great speaking with you. Bye for now.